So today's sermon I've titled, of course, Here Comes the Sun. And I wanted to take from this very important time in history, but also still in so many traditions, and sort of open it up a little and see what treasures it may have for us. So for the note takers amongst us, just to let you know that what I've done is I've chosen 12 to represent one of each of the months that have brought us here to the 22nd of December 2024. So it seemed fitting that it should be 12, and I've done that accordingly. So I'm going to, for each one, just touch upon what significance that this time has and how we can put it into our own lives and our own spiritual paths and journeys. So the first one I've titled The Rebirth of the Sun. So, of course, it reminds us that even in our darkest moments, there is always hope for renewal and growth. And this cosmic, event encourages us to trust in the natural cycles of life, knowing that every period of darkness, light inevitably will return. And it's hard sometimes to believe it when you are in the dark places, but it is a universal cycle of life. And so the solstice invites us to embrace change and to be cognizant that we are in this constant movement, looking forward to new beginnings with optimism and faith. The second one is that a new chapter is or has begun. Of course, because this winter solstice is part of the start of a new solar cycle. And it's a time of pure potential where anything is possible, and a powerful opportunity for personal renewal. I like to think of it as a cosmic reset button, which encourages us to leave behind old patterns and embrace fresh perspectives. And the energy that permeates this time can fuel us and fuel our motivation and inspire us to take bold steps towards our dreams. Thirdly, it's a time of deep reflection and transformation. During the winter solstice, we're invited to turn inward and reflect. And like a caterpillar inside its chrysalis, we undergo quietly, privately sometimes, where no one else can see, moments of transformation and change. And this period of stillness allows us to integrate the lessons of the past year and then also delve deeply into our inner landscapes. There's so much that we've explored together this year as a congregation. And it's our chance to sort of really consolidate those and meditate on them and see how they can seep into the crevices of our soul. And we can identify, of course, in these still moments, areas where we can experience growth and want to experience growth. And we can make conscious decisions about how we want to shape our future. We have the potential to emerge renewed, very much like the returning sun. The fourth, I think, is one of my favorites. And in fact, I even titled one of the sermons this year, this very thing, which is the sacred pause. And I don't know if you know, but the word solstice, of course, those of you who speak Spanish or any Latin language will know sol means the sun, not just a beer. And it comes from sun, and stis means to stand still. The sun has stood still. Isn't that beautiful? And this reminds us of the importance of pausing and being present to the moment. It encourages us that in the midst of all of our busyness, it's important to connect with our inner selves, pause, slow down, be patient and present to ourselves, and be open to gaining fresh perspective. By embracing this pause, we can recharge our spirits and cultivate a deeper sense of peace and clarity that can guide us through this coming year. 5, which is May, of course, honoring the balance of light and dark. And if you think about it, it really is a time of thinking about that relationship between light and dark. It teaches us to embrace both aspects of our life, recognizing that darkness is necessary for growth and that light, as we said earlier, always returns. It's this inherent yin-yang, the duality of light and dark in our nature, in our world, and in and through our lives. The solstice teaches us to find value in both experiences, the dark and the light, so that we can learn how to navigate life's ups and downs with greater equanimity and wisdom, and trust in the natural ebb and flow of life. Number 6, I've said, is aligning with nature's rhythms. In our modern life, I think you would all agree that it's very easy for us to lose our connection to the circadian rhythms. These rhythms, of course, were designed to help us feel more grounded and more in tune with the world around us. And very often our modern life and our devices and our electrical systems all sort of shield us from it in a way. But if we are to allow ourselves to really embrace this time of slowing down and pausing and stillness, it can have a profound effect on our well-being. And then if we do, we find even our internal systems begin to harmonize with the world around us, which could, of course, practically speaking, mean that we might even sleep better, have increased energy, and a greater sense of overall balance in our lives. And if ever I am a living testament to the time we're in, calling me to do just that, here comes my arm that is telling me, Pippa, slow down, pay attention, take stock. 7 is releasing the old and welcoming the new. Of course, many cultures and religious traditions perform rituals during this time to release what no longer serves. We did a little bit of that earlier with the candle, and to welcome new beginnings. And so it's a powerful way to cleanse our energy and create space, much needed space. It's a little bit like in the springtime when we clear out to make room for the new. This should be the beginning of that, where we're making space for positive change. And that it's also a time in that pausing when we can reflect, what actually do we want to let go of? And what would we like truly to invite into our lives? Number 8 is an awareness of increased spiritual receptivity. Now, many traditions view this as a period as an opportunity to receive divine wisdom and guidance, because many believe that the veil, not just in Halloween, but in this time as well, the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is at its thinnest, making it easier to access the higher realms of consciousness. And this heightened spiritual sensitivity can manifest in various ways. For example, increased intuition. I know that there are many amongst us who have an intuitive gift, vivid dreams or sudden insights, And many people find that this time of meditation and any kind of prayer practice are particularly powerful. So I'd love to invite you to experience that for yourself, so that we can indeed receive the guidance that we need to illuminate our path forward. Number 9, I've called embracing stillness and going within. As I said earlier, it's a time where it's a unique opportunity for self-exploration and inner growth. And as the external world grows quiet, we can more easily, and I love this thought, hear the whispers of our own hearts and souls. Sometimes it's too easy to drown it out, but to hear the whispers of those. We can create a space for deep healing and self-discovery. And so it's a time to nurture that, allowing dormant dreams, dormant ideas, forgotten passions to resurface and guide us towards a more authentic life, the life that deep in our soul we know we would like to live. Number 10, nurturing our inner light. By tending to our inner light, we not only sustain ourselves through challenging times, but we become beacons of hope for others. I was reminded yesterday of a beautiful account, Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. She's written some lovely things, and there was a story that she recounted that I wanted to share with you very briefly, because it touches on this very topic. She talks about being on a Midtown bus. Now, those of you who know the Midtown buses in Manhattan will know exactly what this experience is like, where you feel like even the pedestrians are traveling faster than you. And on this particular day, it was cold and it was miserable. And of course, the bus is just inching along slowly. I would like to imagine in my mind, it was probably either 34th or 42nd. And I'll tell you why when I finish the story. But people were disgruntled and angry. There was a frizzy energy on the bus. A couple of guys got into a big heated argument. A pregnant lady got on and nobody stood up to give her their seat, and just, yeah, a bad vibe on the bus. Now, you've got to hand it to this bus driver, whoever he was, because he was demonstrating this very thing that I'm about to share with you. Apparently, he got on the speaker and said, okay, everybody, this is a bad day and the traffic ain't going anywhere. And I can feel your tension, and I can feel that it's not going well for you. So I tell you what I'm going to do. When you get off the bus, at whatever stop it is, he says, I'm going to put my hand out the window and I'm going to stretch it out like this. And I would love you to drop into my hand any worry, any burden, anything that you're carrying that is making you feel in a negative space today. Give it to me, because at the end of my drive, I'm going to reach the river. And when I do, I'm going to take my handful of everything you've given me and I'm going to throw it into the river. And you can imagine how that changed an entire bus. And Elizabeth tells how people actually did. As soon as they ding their bell, they got off and they dropped into his open hand, made a sort of a gesture of dropping, saying thank you. And the bus driver did just that. So it's a powerful story of how we too, on any given moment, anything, how mundane it could be, as mundane as a bus journey, we too could be like that bus driver, offering an open hand to take someone else's irritation and even our own and drive in our hearts and in our minds, in our thoughts and our prayers, take it to a river and drop it in. And so the last two. 11 is recognizing life cycles. Understanding and honoring this can bring great comfort and wisdom to us. The solstice is here to teach us that change is constant and natural, and it helps us to embrace these transitions. with grace. Isn't that lovely? With grace. By recognizing that we are in these constant circles, we can work with them rather than against them, knowing when to push forward and when to hold back and conserve our energy. And this ultimately could lead to greater harmony and balance, allowing us to flow more easily with life's ups and downs and changes. And finally, a little bit of what we did in the ritual today, a reminder that this time is a time for setting intentions and affirmations for the year ahead. And as the sun begins its journey back towards the earth, towards longer days, we can plant the seeds of our dreams and aspirations. And unlike New Year's Eve resolutions, which often focus on external goals, the solstice is sort of asking and challenging us, could we also do the internal goals? Looking at our spiritual and emotional and psychological growth as well as our practical aims. And a time to reflect deeply, as I said, on what is it that we truly want. So in closing, I would like to say that if any of this has struck a chord with you, I'd like to offer you a little challenge, and that is some way that you may have, whether it's a poem or a song or a ritual or even just the taking off of your shoes. I know that the ground outside is cold, or the feeling of the leaves or the trees, but something where you can tap into the ancient wisdom, the ancestral knowledge. And this connection can provide us with a sense of rootedness and continuity, and help us to feel part of a larger human story that spans across time and cultures. And we are but a part in this moving forward of the caravan of life. So however you may find to do it, I would love you to encourage you to do it today, if possible, while we're still in this very powerful time in our calendar year. So thank you, everybody, for the chance to share this with you. I hope some points have landed. I hope there's been some inspiration for you as we embrace the winter solstice.
If you like this video, please like us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you.